悪運尽きた。ん？
Hey my dear pirates, you are on channel Straw Hat's One Piece Theories, and in today's video we're going to talk about Monkey D. Dragon's backstory and his true powers. Ever wonder where Monkey D. Dragon's powers came from? Have you thought about it? What is the origin of Monkey D. Dragon's power? Could it be that his powers are derived from a devil fruit with the powers of some dragon? Or did his powers literally come from a magical and mythological animal like a dragon? Could her past reveal the truth about her powers? Has he had these powers since he was young? Could it be that just like his son, Monkey D. Luffy, Monkey D. Dragon received his powers when he was still a child? Does his father, Monkey D. Garp, know anything about Dragon's powers? So if you want to be a pirate king like me and achieve eternal glory, go ahead and press the like button with all the power of your devil fruit. And if you're new here my dear sailor, already subscribe to the channel and don't forget to activate the notifications bell so you don't miss any new video, okay? Then join this crew that will dominate the entire Grand Line and the New World. Now without further ado, let's get to this epic video. And well my dear pirate, after we saw a little of Monkey D. Dragon's past in his conversation with Vegapunk, and after Vegapunk revealed to Luffy that the origin of Momonosuke's artificial fruit, the Smile Fruit, came from Kado's DNA, several theories emerged that pointed out that maybe it was between the lines of these lines the secret about the true power of Dragon. I myself made a very complete video talking about it. In this video I addressed the tattoo, that mark on Monkey D. Dragon's face, and how it could be related to this possible artificial devil's fruit that Vegapunk may have given him in the past, as well as talking about the possible powers that this fruit could have given Dragon and how it affected him in a different way than it affected his true power, Kado, and Momonosuke. In other words, I raised the possibility that this devil fruit that Monkey D. Dragon may have received from Vegapunk could have been an evolution of that same devil fruit that Momonosuke received from Vegapunk, where these powers were based on the abilities of the Dragon King, which is one of the spiritual dragons of Chinese mythology. If you want to see this video, I will leave it on the card pinned here in the upper corner of the video. But for those who are more curious, just Google it about the 4 spiritual dragon kings that are completely related to the weather, moving, seas, clouds, winds, lightning and storms. And so you will surely find the information that I used as a basis for the video, and you will understand how these arguments make perfect sense. However, what if Monkey D. Dragon's powers don't come from any devil fruit, be it a real devil fruit like a storm paramecia, a weather logia, or a smile like Momonosuke's devil fruit? Would these powers be related to some kind of hockey? Well, I believe not, because if it was something related to hockey, whatever it may be, Monkey D. Dragon would have a unique hockey, and that would be something very complex to explain. Of course, Oda has the ability to create something of that kind to the point of developing hockey even more, creating like this a new type of advanced hockey. However, I believe that if it were that he would have already developed something similar in Shanks or Kado, who are characters with very high power levels. Even Roger could serve as an example to explain this supposed new type of advanced hockey, so I would rule that out. So what's the truth behind Monkey D. Dragon's powers? Well, my dear sailor, if these powers have nothing to do with the devil fruit, well, I believe that Oda then gave Dragon a unique power, but not related to hockey as I mentioned earlier, but something that many, myself included, would like to see more being explored, and of course I'm talking about the dragons. In One Piece we saw some dragons, mainly in Punk Hazard, but both were scientific creations as well as the Smile-style devil fruits. Yes, both were also created by Vegapunk, so we see that maybe my theory that Dragon's power really come from an artificial devil fruit created by Vegapunk might make some sense. However, thinking more broadly, I came up with another interesting theory. The celestial dragons, the Tenryubito, that practically rule the world, hide things that happened in the lost century, and just like the celestial weapons, I wouldn't doubt that there were several types of true celestial dragons that the Tenryubito stole that title to make themselves of the leaders of the world. Thus, with that name, that title, they imposed their power over all peoples. But after we saw that Vegapunk created Momonosuke's artificial devil fruit based on Kado's DNA, so it's possible that he created the dragons we saw in Punk Hazard based on DNA from real dragons that maybe don't even exist anymore, or who knows, are hidden only where Vegapunk knows, and thus that power was passed on to others. In Momonosuke's case, he used Kaido's DNA to advance his studies, technologies, and science to the point he had not been able to previously. So was the same not done in Monkey D. Dragon? But instead of a devil fruit, he directly received the power, the DNA, of a true dragon? In other words, my dear sailor, what I want to say is, was Monkey D. Dragon the first person to serve serve as an experiment for Vegapunk studies based on dragon DNA? First, Vegapunk found live dragons, or else he had the DNA of true dragons and thus created new dragons, and when he saw that this worked, he then went a step further and tried to replicate that power in humans, and thus we have the truth behind the powers of Monkey D. Dragon. And then finally he created the artificial devil fruits, taking another step in his studies, and thus the power of Momonosuke was born. What do you think of this theory? Leave your opinion in the comments. But calm down, don't leave the video, because we still have one more possibility to address, which is, what if Monkey D. Dragon actually inherited his powers from one of these true dragons, but without being part of some crazy Vegapunk experiment? And if, when he was still a child in his life, Monkey D. Dragon had an encounter with a real dragon, perhaps one of the last dragons that were still alive, and thus he gained his powers for already demonstrating to have a strong personality that would bring change to the world? Usually in fantastic stories, dragons are millennial, magical, and super intelligent beings, and the world of One Piece has a lot of fantasy involved in it, so this possibility is not so absurd. A dragon from the past, he saw his entire race exterminated by the same forces that exterminated all the people in history of the last century, but somehow he managed to survive and found himself with a boy who had in his heart the will to change the world, and before dying he gave this boy his powers. Well, although it sounds like something that wouldn't happen in One Piece, I wouldn't rule out a hypothesis like that either. After all, we have very little information about Monkey D. Dragon's past, mainly his childhood and youth, and I tend to believe that Garp hides an absurd truth about his son, since he has already stated that Dragon was always a troublesome person and he feared that this would be passed on to Luffy. And well, as we've seen, even if Dragon wasn't able to influence his son, Shanks did that job for him. So, Luffy's blood already yearned to make a change in the world, even if he didn't know that himself. Is all this not related? But anyway, could this be the truth about Dragon's past? Is this the truth about his powers? Well, my dear pirate, now I want to know your opinion about everything we talked about here today. But of course, if you made it this far, it's because you like the content, so it doesn't hurt to subscribe to our channel and become one more member of our fleet, my dear sailor. And of course, do not forget to press the like button, that helps a lot in spreading the video and the channel, so help us to become the largest fleet of pirates here on YouTube, okay? A big hug for everyone, and until the next video.